All right, our next guest became a household name after he grabbed 2 Golden Globes, 3 Emmy Awards, playing the fast-talking Hollywood agent Ari Gold on Entourage. He's an actor, he's a comedian, he's a podcaster, he's a tap dancer with fancy footwork. Jeremy Piven, how you living, my brother?
I'm doing well. How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. You got a true family affair going on with this new movie, The Performance.
Yeah, my sister wrote and she adapted it from an Arthur Miller short story, and you would think that, she gave me a break and hired me, but the reality is I went to her and hired her, even though she's my older sister, if you can believe it. And it's the best work of our lives. And I'm very old, and I've done 80 movies, so that's saying a lot.
Yeah, and your mom also brought you the script, correct? So it's like a big family affair.
She did. She brought us the script, and it took me over 10 years to make it, because I basically pitched it and no one wanted to make it. And so every year I heard no, I just got better at tap dancing until we finally found the money and I was ready to do it. It all came together.
And this film's set in the 1930s, just prior to World War II, the Holocaust, 87 years ago now. Have we really evolved, do you think, that much 87 years ago to where we are today?
What's so interesting is that this movie, I believe, will start to kind of incite us getting the conversation going. I think about, the Holocaust happened, and this movie really, at its core, is about how far will each of us go? How much of yourself will you compromise to become successful? And in this film, my character is willing to hide the fact that he's Jewish and dance for Hitler to become successful. And he realizes that, by the end, that it was a horrible mistake, and he comes to terms with who he is, and it's a beautiful evolution. It's this incredible story, and I can't wait for people to see it. And actually, if you're in Miami, come and join me at the Miami Beach Band Shell on the 11th at 7:30. We're going to screen it, and then we're going to have an after party. And, this is something that I've been putting together for over a decade, and it's going to, make us really think the question that you asked, because I don't know the answer to that. I know that, there's a lot of confusion out there, and, we don't have enough time to talk about what's happening over in Israel, but this story is a historical piece, and yet it's as relevant as anything out there right now, fortunately or unfortunately.
This episode of Backstage is being brought to you by Manscaped. The holiday season is here, which means holiday parties, which means, guys, you may have to get down into your birthday suit. You know what I'm saying? It's the holiday season. The ladies are drinking eggnog and they're under the mistletoe, and you want to make sure that you have your down belows taken care of. I've got the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra by Manscaped. This is going to save your dignity this holiday season. Don't be that family member that shows up solo to the Christmas party all scruffy and you've yet to kind of clean yourself up for the holiday gathering. Get your winter overgrowth under control with that Weed Whacker 2.0 from Manscaped. And you can let the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra help you seal the deal this cuffing season. Who knows? You might even get lucky if you're naughty, if you know what I'm saying. Join the over 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for kickoff by heading over to manscaped.com. Use the code BACKSTAGE for 20% off plus free shipping. Trust me, you're going to be the real MVP this grooming season. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code BACKSTAGE at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code BACKSTAGE at manscaped.com. Stay on top of your grooming game and be ready for anything the season throws your way.
The Performance. It's our guest's latest work, which will be playing at the Miami Film Festival on Miami Beach. For more information, go to miamifilmfestival.com. And the reviews are in, and people are saying that you tapped in to your best role yet. I mean, people are giving you rave reviews all over the internet, so congrats on that. And do you believe, telling that story there, is there any time in life that you do believe that ambition should outweigh your integrity at any point in life?
I don't think so, because ironically enough, if you stay true to yourself, I believe you will go further than you could have. had you sold out. I really believe that. I think that you can make these little jumps, if you sell out, or, I think that if you realize that this feels like the worst TED Talk ever, but if you realize that in this life that you're enough, we all are enough, and we're all unique, and we stay true to ourselves. Listen, man, I could have given up this movie 1,000 times over. It took me 14 years to make this. And I knew if I could just make it, then it will be this incredible piece, the best work of my life. And we'll start asking some questions about what's really going on in our lives. Who are we? How far will you go to sell out? Where do you stand? And yeah, man, it's funny. I've never had I've been lucky. I made 80 movies that won Emmys for Entourage, and people see me as Ari Gold, and they scream, "Let's hug it out, bitch!" and I'm a douchebag because of you. And it's adorable, and I love it, and I'm honored. And you can kind of rail against the universe and say, "Oh, I'm misunderstood. There's more. I have more in me." But it's up to you to manifest that, and I did it with this. And so I can't wait for people to see this film.
I know, Jeremy, you're proud of your Jewish heritage, but has there ever been a time in your life when you felt like it might be in your best interest to hide your faith at any point in your life?
It's interesting because, all over the world we're dealing with anti-Semitism. And I was lucky enough to grow up in a very integrated culture. I was the only white boy on my football team, and I was lucky enough to grow up around people that look like from everywhere, really, and to learn about other cultures. And I really believe that anti-Semitism and racism comes from a lack of knowledge about someone else's culture, because we can all learn from each other. We really can. And in this film, like in my life, people don't necessarily assume I'm Jewish, and so I hear anti-Semitism, and the thing is, it's like, well, do you really know me? Where's that coming from? And so I think this is, if this inspires conversations, which I think it will, that's all we can ask for, man, because we can't be a slave to headlines and people that are trying to distract us, and profiting off of fear. This is a much longer conversation. This movie is pure. It's wildly entertaining. I pull off the tap dancing, and I'm surrounded by brilliant tappers, and it's the best work of my life, and I'm very hard on myself. So if I can inspire someone else to make their own movie, the movie they always wanted to make, take it from me, man. Everyone said no. Everyone. No one wanted to make this. And then when I made it, people all saw this and they said, I can't see anyone else playing that role. But on paper, I'm not a tap dancer. I'm too old. I'm too this. I'm too that, whatever. But it's up to you just to kind of have that clarity and just never give up.
The performance, make sure you go see it at the Miami Film Festival. You can meet Jeremy, our guest here. Just go to miamifilmfestival.com for more information. I need a little clarity here because I see that you're a big Chicago sports fan, but you're born in New York City, got your chops at Second City. So explain do you have love for the Big Apple and the Windy City, or Chicago home? How does that work out?
Chicago, will always be my home. I grew up in my parents' theater, in the Piven Theater, called up on stage at 8 years old, started Second City with a guy named Chris Farley in the 90s, and traveled around doing sketch comedy, and then ended up at NYU. So, I'm all over the place. I have nothing but love for the New York Knicks and the Chicago Bulls and the Bears and the Giants. I'm just a sucker for, but the Bears will always be my team. And we're rebuilding this year, and I'm excited.
How about it now for the Bears? Caleb Williams, you a fan of that new quarterback? No more Justin Fields.
Well, he's a brilliant quarterback, and we've got a lot of great pieces around him. Justin Fields was really fun to watch. That was like a video game, but it's a tough league, So we'll see what happens, man. I grew up watching Walter Payton and Michael Jordan, so I'm spoiled.
Cubs or Sox for you, though? North side or south side?
I love the Cubs because I'm a North Sider. So hold on one second. I'm at the airport. I'm about to get on a 17-hour flight. I just wrapped a movie, a war movie here in Australia, and now I'm getting on a flight. Hello. Yeah, I'm ready when you guys are. Sorry. Oh, you okay? Great. I'm sorry, man. I just don't want to miss my flight.
Oh yeah, you don't want to miss your
because
flight.
Then I can't meet. No, because then I can't meet. I'm literally flying to Miami. I want to give people. Can you give away a couple free tickets? Because if they're listening to us this long, we need to celebrate them.
Let's do that. MiamiFilmFestival.com.
Okay.
You can call the show, and we will hook you up so that way you can meet Jeremy. Get on your flight, and we'll see you when you get to the States.
Yeah. Hey, brother, thank you and try to make it yourself, because I would love to call you back and have a conversation about this film. Because here I am, many decades into the game, and people can't believe that I pulled this off. So let me get back on a call with you after you see it, and we'll inspire some people.
Sounds good, Jeremy. Safe travels, my brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the call.